You know him as the always angry Scottish chef behind some of the most over-the-top cooking shows of all time. But Gordon Ramsay is far from just a trumped-up, expletive-spouting TV personality. A multiple Michelin star-winning talent of the highest order, this master chef knows his stuff. Here are some of the finest cooking tips from the one and only Gordon Ramsay. Ramsay's famous scrambled eggs. If you grew up eating scrambled eggs as dry and unyielding as a kitchen sponge, Gordon Ramsay's impossibly creamy recipe may come as a shock. Is this how scrambled eggs are supposed to taste? Ramsay sure thinks so, as nailing this style of preparation is one of the first tests he gives chefs looking to work in his restaurant empire.
Every time we get a new cook in the kitchen, we always ask them to make scrambled egg. And if they can make the perfect scrambled egg, they know how to cook properly.
The secret is intermittently exposing the eggs to the heat, stirring all the while. Ramsay also advises not to season the eggs in advance, lest they get too watery. But it's not just about treating eggs like risotto. You also add a spoonful of tangy creme fraiche and freshly chopped chives at the end. Bell pepper perfection. If you tend to rush your bell pepper prep and leave seeds and that white pith behind, Gordon's guide to pepper perfection is the intervention you need. Notice how he avoids the mess by simply leaving the seeds undisturbed inside the pepper, slicing off those pith-free cheeks of crunchy goodness carefully. To make the task less of a hassle, Ramsay slices off the top and tail, creating a flat bottom for the pepper to rest on. Once the waste is out of the way, Ramsay advises cutting the pepper's skin side down for the best results, whether you're dicing, julienning, or cutting thick slices for stir-fries or salads. A great way to grate. If you've watched Kitchen Nightmares, you know that Ramsay hates being served frozen food. In fact, frozen is an F word that Ramsay rarely deploys, unless he's quizzing clueless cooks about a particularly unappetizing appetizer.
What's all this stuff floating in water?
That's a grouper taken out from the freezer. We keep it fresh frozen.
Fresh frozen?
Yes, chef.
There's no such thing.
But a freezer can be useful for more than just leftovers, desserts, and ill-advised culinary shortcuts. To cleanly grate a block of mozzarella, Ramsay suggests sticking it in the freezer for 10 minutes to get it nice and firm. Subjecting the cheese to the icy air of your freezer pre-grating also leads to a greater yield, meaning more of that pricey product is ending up where it belongs. Restaurant-perfect hash browns. How does a world-class chef handle a rustic American favorite like hash browns? With great care and attention to detail, but zero fuss. At the heart of Ramsay's simple hash browns are waxy potatoes, onions, and cayenne pepper, as you'd expect. But it's his technique that elevates this standard breakfast fare. To start, Ramsay grates both the potatoes and the onions for an extra crispy, flavor-packed hash brown experience in every bite. Ramsay uses both olive oil and butter to deliver an enticing sear, as well as bring a creamy richness to the center of the potato/onion mix. His most ingenious tip here is the plate trick. To cleanly flip your crispy hash browns, simply place a large dinner plate over the pan, then turn it over. The result is an evenly cooked plate of pure Americana, courtesy of one of the world's most famous Scots. Can't be beet. A humble bowl of hummus will never be the talk of the dinner party, but Ramsay's beet-based beauty elevates the Middle Eastern favorite into a stunning centerpiece. The beets turn the dip the color of white Zinfandel, while the ingenious use of fresh marjoram adds a mintiness to balance out the root vegetable's trademark earthiness. It's convenient to fill your fridge with tubs of sabra, but nothing store-bought compares to the umami-filled awesomeness of freshly cooked chickpeas and high-end tahini, balanced by several generous squeezes of fresh lemon juice to brighten the bittersweetness of the beets. Bonus tip: note how Ramsay rolls his lemon firmly on the cutting board before slicing it to extract as much juice as possible. Back to basics. Ramsay's approach to chopping an onion isn't exactly revolutionary, but it's a crystal-clear demonstration of one of the most common kitchen tasks you'll face as a home chef. After peeling your onion, Ramsay notes it's crucial you leave the root intact, unless you enjoy crying into your stew. Lopping off the root, warns Ramsay, allows the onion to bleed its most potent cry-inducing juices. Tears safely at bay, the rest of the operation involves delicately crisscrossing the onion into a fine dice, all the way up to the root. If you've always taken a more rustic approach to prepping your onions for the pan, it's worth practicing Ramsay's more refined technique until it's second nature. Not only do you get a higher yield and finer dice, you also avoid interrupting your workflow with an unwelcome onion-inspired jag.
You can do better.
I know I can do better.
You can do better.
I know I can do better.
Thanks for watching. Click the mashed icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.